The palace was alive with celebration. Flags fluttered in the warm breeze from the twin suns. Guests from many worlds gathered in the great hall to honor Queen Alanya. The ceremony had been long and beautiful. Alanya wore her silver crown with grace. Her eyes shone with quiet strength. The Valari people watched her with hope. At her side stood Jace Carter, the human guard who had saved her life and helped bring justice to the kingdom. But beneath the joy, shadows still moved. Vorix once, a powerful noble, was locked away in a secure cell. Yet his followers were not gone. They plotted in secret, waiting for a chance. Jace knew the fight was not over. In the days after the crowning, Jace patrolled the palace with care. He watched for any signs of danger. One evening, he noticed a strange glow near the palace's outer wall. He moved quietly and found a small group of saboteurs planting devices. Jace acted fast. He called for the guards and captured the intruders without violence. Back inside, Alanya thanked Jace. "You keep us safe," she said softly. Jace smiled. "It is my honor." As Queen Alanya began to lead with wisdom, she invited humans and Valari to work together. She believed their strengths were different, but could be united. At a council meeting, she spoke clearly. "We are stronger when we trust each other. Fear and hate only weaken us." The nobles listened. Kale, now an advisor, added, "The humans bring courage and fresh ideas. We must learn from them." Lyra, who had earned full citizenship, worked to improve palace security and communications. One day, a message arrived from an unknown source. It warned of a larger threat, an alien fleet moving toward the Valari system. Jace, Alanya, and the council prepared for the worst. The fleet was huge, unlike anything the Valari had seen, but Alanya stood strong. "We will face them together," she said. Jace helped lead the defense. Humans and Valari pilots worked side by side. The battle was fierce. Starships flashed lasers and dodged deadly blasts. Jace flew his fighter with skill and bravery. During a critical moment, the enemy targeted the palace station. Jace's quick thinking saved the day. He used an old Earth tactic, flying his ship between the enemy and the station to block a missile. His bold move gave the defenders time to destroy the fleet's command ship. The enemy retreated. The Valari cheered. Alanya's leadership and Jace's courage had saved the kingdom. After the battle, Alanya stood on the palace balcony. Looking at the stars, Jace joined her. "You changed everything," he said quietly. Alanya smiled. "We changed everything. Together." The kingdom began a new era, one of peace, strength, and friendship between species. Jace felt proud. He was more than a guard now. He was part of something greater. In the final scene, Alanya turned to Jace. "Thank you, my friend." Jace nodded. "Always, Your Majesty." Princess Zalara sat in her chamber, staring out of the tall window. The twin suns of the Thalar Empire were setting behind the mountains. Their light painted the sky with gold and red. But inside her heart, a cold shadow grew. Today, the High Council had told her she must marry Prince Velen of the Zorith Kingdom. The alliance would bring peace between the two great powers. It would strengthen her people, the proud Thalar. But Zalara felt nothing but fear and sadness. She had never met Prince Velen. She had never wanted to marry anyone chosen for politics. Her dreams were simple, of freedom and truth. Her handmaidens moved quietly around the room, preparing her for the evening's ceremony. Her robes of blue and silver shimmered softly. But Zalara did not care about dresses or crowns. She wanted answers. "How can I marry a stranger?" she whispered to herself. Suddenly a soft knock came at the door. A tall man entered. He wore dark armor and carried no weapon. His eyes were sharp and kind. "Your Highness," he said with respect, "I am Commander Reyes. I have been sent to protect you during the coming journey." Zalara studied him. He was human, but different from anyone she had ever seen. His skin was pale, his hair black like night. There was strength in his quiet voice. Protect me, she repeated. From what? From those who wish to harm you, Reyes answered calmly. Your position is important. Many do not want peace. Zalara's heart beat faster. She looked into his eyes. There was something strange, something familiar, but she could not place it. Thank you, Commander. I will need your help, she said softly. The next day the palace was filled with tension. Officials spoke in whispers. The council argued over war or peace. Zalara sat quietly, listening. She remembered stories told by her grandmother. Long ago, the Thaler had made friends with humans strong. Brave warriors from a distant blue planet called Earth. But humans had disappeared after a great war. And their story became a myth. No one believed humans still lived. Yet here stood Reyes, the only human she had ever met. How was it possible that night Zalara could not sleep? She wandered the palace halls until she found the training room. There, Reyes practiced silently with a sword. He moved with skill and power beyond any soldier she knew. She watched, amazed. Why, do you fight so well? She asked. Reyes stopped and smiled faintly. Because I must protect what I love. Zalara's heart fluttered. Do you love your people? She asked. Yes, he said. But more than that, I protect a promise. A promise, she repeated. Long ago, humans and Thaler made a promise to stand together. I am here too. Keep it. Zalara's eyes widened. You mean humans and Thaler were allies? Not just allies, Reyes said. More than that. Zalara wanted to ask more, but the door opened suddenly. A guard appeared. Princess, the council calls. For you, the ceremony begins. Reyes nodded. I will be with you. The ceremony hall was grand and bright. Alien dignitaries filled the seats. The air was thick with expectation. Zalara walked down the steps to meet Prince Velen. He was tall, with green skin and sharp eyes. But there was no warmth in his gaze. When Velen took her hand, Zalara felt cold. The High Council spoke of peace, unity and strength. But Zalara's thoughts were elsewhere on Reyes, on the secret promise, on a future she did not understand. Suddenly, the hall shook with an explosion. Screams filled the air. Reyes sprang forward, shielding Zalara with his body. Guards rushed to find the source, but the attackers had vanished. Zalara looked at Reyes with new respect. Who are you really? She asked, breathless. Reyes met her eyes and said quietly, Someone who will protect you no matter what. The next days were full of danger. Zalara learned to fight alongside Reyes. He showed her how to use a blade, how to move fast and think clearly. Their bond grew. She felt safe with him. She felt alive. One evening, they sat beneath the stars. Zalara asked about Earth. Is it true? Humans come from a blue planet far away? She asked. Reyes nodded. It is, but humans changed. We became stronger, faster, better. Like you, she smiled. Yes, he said. Like me. Zalara felt hope. Maybe she did not have to marry. A stranger. Maybe her true future was with this warrior who kept a promise. But shadows were closing in. The alien prince was not pleased. The council did not trust Reyes, and enemies waited in the dark. Zalara knew one thing clearly. Her life was about to change forever. The morning light spilled softly through the crystal windows of the palace as Princess Zalara prepared for the next part of her journey. Today she and her small group would travel to the planet Drilax, a place known for its neutral ground and its restless people. The planet was key to the upcoming peace talks between the Thalar Empire and the rebellious systems that threatened the fragile alliance. Commander, Reyes stood near the door, silent and watchful. His dark eyes scanned the room as if reading every shadow. Zalara felt a strange comfort knowing he was there, guarding her against unknown dangers. Are you ready, Your Highness? Reyes asked quietly. Zalara nodded. I am. The ship waiting. Outside was sleek and silver, a swift vessel designed for speed and safety. As they boarded, Zalara noticed the tension in the air. This mission was more than a simple diplomatic visit. It was a chance to prove that peace was possible. But the enemies of peace did not want that. The journey to Drelax took 2 days. During that time, Zalara spent many hours with Reyes. He taught her how to move carefully, how to listen for danger in silence. She learned to hold a small Wapona light sword made of energy and to defend herself. At first, she was clumsy and scared. But Reyes' calm patience gave her strength. "You must trust yourself," he said. "Fear is the enemy. When you control fear, you control the fight." Zalara smiled. For the first time, she felt like she could be strong, not just a princess, but a warrior. One evening, as the two sat looking out at the stars from the ship's observation deck, Zalara asked, "Commander, why do you hide so much? You never speak about your past." Reyes' eyes darkened. "Some stories are not safe to tell. Not yet." "But why?" "'Cause the truth could change everything." Zalara pressed her lips together. She wanted to know more, but she understood. There would be time. When the ship landed on Drelax, the mood grew tense. The planet was wild and full of life, but danger hid in every corner. The people were proud and fierce. Many did not trust the Thalor Empire. Some wanted war. As the group moved toward the city of Zelern, they were watched by unseen eyes. At night, while the camp slept, Zalara heard a soft noise outside her tent. She rose quietly and stepped out into the cool air. Shadow moved in the darkness. Suddenly, a group of masked figures attacked. Reyes was ready. With swift, precise movements, he fought off the attackers. His skill was terrifying to watch. He moved like lightning, every strike perfect. Zalara's heart pounded. She took her sword and stood beside him, ready to defend herself. The attackers fled into the night, defeated. "Are you hurt?" Reyes asked. "No," Zalara said, breathless. "You saved me." Reyes looked at her with a seriousness that made her shiver. "I will always protect you." After that night, something changed between them. Zalara no longer saw Reyes as just a guard. He was a friend, a teacher, and something more, someone she could trust with her life. One afternoon, they walked together through the marketplace of Zelern. The city was noisy and full of color. Strange foods, loud voices, and bright fabrics filled the air. Reyes moved carefully. Watching the crowd, suddenly, a small child bumped into Zalara, dropping a small, shining stone. The princess bent down too. "Pick it up." Reyes' eyes caught the glow. It was a small crystal, but inside, faint images flickered, images of Earth. Zalara gasped. "This is Earth." Reyes nodded slowly. "Yes, a piece of my home." She looked at him with wide eyes. "How do you have this?" "Earth was destroyed long ago." Reyes' face was shadowed. "Some things survive." At night they sat by the fire in the quiet camp. Zalara studied Reyes carefully. "You don't speak our language well," she said softly. "Your voice, it is different." "I learned it here," Reyes answered. "I was not born among your people."
"Oh, then where?"
"Are you from?" Reyes looked up at the stars. "From a place far away, a place called Earth. Once humans lived there. We were strong and brave." Zalara's heart beat faster. "But you are here now. Why?" "Because I promised to protect you." "Because your family once made a promise." "To my people, your people," she repeated. Reyes nodded. "Yes, long ago, your ancestors and mine made an alliance. A secret bond, you princess, were promised to me." But that promise was forgotten. Zalara's mind swirled with confusion. "I don't understand." "You will," Reyes said softly. "When the time is right." Days passed, and the peace talks began. Zalara found herself caught between hope and fear. The rebellious leaders did not trust her. The alien prince, Velen, grew colder and more distant. Reyes stayed close, silent, and strong. One night, during the talks, a message came. Another attack was planned. The palace on Drelax was not safe. Zalara and Reyes prepared for battle. When the attack came, it was worse than before. Explosions rocked the halls. Shadows moved with deadly intent. Reyes fought fiercely, protecting Zalara with his life. In the chaos, Zalara saw the truth Reyes was not. Just a soldier. He was something more, something powerful. When the fighting ended, the attackers gone, Zalara looked at Reyes and whispered, "Who are you really?" Reyes smiled sadly. "Someone who loves you, someone who keeps a promise." Zalara felt a warmth. In her heart she had never known. The mission to Drilax had been dangerous, but it had changed everything. She no longer feared the future. She was ready to face it with Reyes by her side. The cool wind swept over the rocky mountains of Drilax as Princess Zalara and Commander Reyes took shelter in a hidden cave. The world outside was uncertain and dangerous. Rebels and spies were everywhere, waiting for any chance to strike. Inside the cave, silence wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Zalara looked at Reyes. His dark eyes reflected the flickering firelight. For days, he had stayed by her side, protecting her, teaching her, and sharing small pieces of the secret. They both held. "Tell me everything," Zalara said quietly. "I need to know the truth." Reyes nodded. His voice was low, steady. "Very well, it is time." Began his story. "Long ago," Reyes said, "Earth was a great planet. Humans lived there. They were strong, clever, and brave. But war came, and Earth was destroyed. Most humans died." Zalara listened, her heart heavy. But before Earth fell, Reyes continued, "The leaders of the last human survivors made a secret plan. They chose a child me to be their hope. They sent me far away, to the Thaler Empire. Their monks raised me in secret." He looked at Zalara. "You were a child then, too. Your family promised that you and I would be joined, a bond to unite. Our people to keep peace." Zalara's eyes widened. "I remember no such promise. It was hidden, forgotten by most, but not by me." She sat back, overwhelmed. Reyes went on. "I grew up training to protect you and your people. When I returned, everything had changed. The wars, the politics, they broke the old alliances. Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Asked because the time was not right," Reyes answered. "You were young, and the truth could have put you in danger. I had to protect you from shadows you did not see." Zalara was silent. Her mind raced. Everything she thought she knew about her life was changing. "I trusted you," she said finally, "and I will always protect you," Reyes promised. They sat close, sharing a moment of peace in the dark cave the next morning. As the sun rose over the mountain peaks, Zalara and Reyes prepared to leave. The rebellion was growing stronger, and the palace needed her return. But something inside Zalara had changed. She no longer felt like a frightened princess. She was a warrior, and she had a purpose. As they traveled down the rocky path, Zalara remembered a dream from her childhood, a memory long buried. A small boy with dark hair had held her hand and promised to stand by her side. She had thought it was just a dream. Now, she knew it was Reyes. Back in the palace, tensions were higher than ever. Prince Velen watched Zalara closely. His green eyes burned with jealousy and suspicion. The council whispered about the human warrior who had come from nowhere. Velen plotted to end Reyes' influence. One day, Zalara was called to a private meeting with the council elders. They demanded that she distance herself from Reyes, that she choose the prince or lose her throne. Zalara stood tall. "I will not betray the one who protects me," the council murmured. The prince scowled. Meanwhile, Reyes worked quietly to find the traitors within the palace. He discovered secret messages and hidden weapons. The attacks were planned by those who wanted war, not peace. One night, Reyes and Zalara sneaked into a secret chamber beneath the palace. There, they found proof of the prince's betrayal plans to attack the rebellion and blame the humans. Zalara's heart ached. The man she was supposed to marry was a traitor. With the evidence in hand, Zalara and Reyes confronted the council. They demanded justice. The council was shocked. The prince was accused of treason. In the chaos, Velen fled the palace, vowing revenge. Zalara looked at Reyes with gratitude and love. "You saved my people," she said softly. "And you saved me," Reyes replied. That night, beneath the stars, Zalara and Reyes stood together. The promise of their childhood was now real. The princess no longer feared the future. With Reyes by her side, she was ready to face whatever came next. The hum of the space station grew louder as the Galactic Council's delegation arrived. News of the sympathetic child spread quickly, stirring curiosity, fear, and hope in equal measure. Jake Holloway felt the weight of it all resting heavily on his shoulders. He sat alone in his pod, the baby whom he now called Luma resting quietly in the glowing cradle beside him. Luma's eyes opened slowly and met Jake's with a gentle warmth that seemed to shine through the soft blue light. "Jake." Sarai's voice came through the communicator again, calm but urgent. "The council will demand answers. They fear what they do not understand. You must decide soon." Jake swallowed hard. Decide what? He looked down at Luma, who reached a tiny hand toward his face. The bond between them had grown stronger every day. Jake could feel her emotions like a gentle current flowing inside him: joy, curiosity, even sadness. He thought about the offer Sarai had made when she first appeared at Dock 12. Comfort her baby, and he would receive something beyond value. At the time, it seemed simpler favor for a reward. Now it felt like a choice that could change everything. Jake stood and paced his small room. He wasn't a hero or a diplomat. He was a cargo pilot, used to running away from trouble, not facing it head-on. But Luma's gentle presence had opened a new part of him, part that wanted to care, to protect, to connect. Sarai's message echoed in his mind. "You have a heart that feels deeply. That is why you were chosen." Jake's thoughts were interrupted by a soft knock on his door. He opened it cautiously. Two figures stood outside the council's representatives. They were tall, elegant beings with pale skin and shimmering robes, their faces serene but unreadable. "We have come to discuss the sympathetic child," one said in perfect common tongue. "It is our duty to ensure her safety and to understand her nature." Jake nodded slowly. "She's safe with me. I'm her guardian." The representative's eyes softened slightly. "We do not doubt your intentions, Mr. Holloway. But this child represents a species nearly extinct. The council must decide what is best for her and for all sentient life." Jake felt a knot in his stomach. He wanted to protect Luma, but he also wanted to do what was right. That night, Jake sat with Luma in his arms. The baby cooed softly, her tiny fingers curling around his thumb. "Luma," Jake whispered, "I don't know what to do. The council takes you away. I don't know if I can bear it." Luma's eyes met his, shining with a depth beyond her years. Jake felt her emotions, trust, hope, and love. He took a deep breath and made a decision. The next morning, Jake walked to the council, meeting room Luma in her cradle beside him. The room was filled with beings from many worlds, their faces curious and cautious. Jake stood before them, his heart pounding. "I am no diplomat," he began, "but I have learned something important. This child is not just a species to study. She is a symbol of hope, of connection between us all." He looked down at Luma. "She has taught me that we are not so different. That feelings, love, trust, karar, what bind us." A murmur spread through the room. Jake continued. "If you take her away, you risk breaking that bond. But if you let her stay, if you let me help her grow, maybe we can build something new, a future where different species understand each other." Council members looked at each other, then back at Jake. After a long silence, the lead representative spoke. "Your words carry weight, Mr. Holloway. The council will allow you to remain Luma's guardian, one condition. You will work with us to learn and share her gift." Jake nodded, relief flooding him. As they left, Sarai's voice came softly through the communicator. "You have made the right choice, Jake. The bond you share is the key to the future." That night, as Jake watched Luma sleep, he felt something. New hope. Not just for himself, but for the galaxy. The baby who once only cried had become a bridge of light in the darkness. And Jake knew, whatever came next, he would face it with an open heart.